Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Before Yellowstone, Kevin Costner starred in another Western series with Bill Paxton. For whatever reason, folks in the film and TV industry seem inclined to hand Kevin Costner a 10-gallon hat and stick him on a horse. Okay, if we're being real, it's often the Dances with Wolves filmmaker who casts himself to play cowboy, as was also the case when he starred in his own feature-length directorial efforts, Open Range and Horizon, An American Saga, Chapter 1. You can actually trace the Yellowstone Veterans Association with the Western genre to the early days of his career when he starred in Lawrence Kasdan's Oscar-nominated 1985 Odor Silverado. The duo's reunion almost a decade later on Wyatt Earp didn't fare as well by comparison, although Costner has always defended the 3-hour epic. Funnily enough, Kasdan's 1994 feature, which also made the ill-advised move of arriving barely 6 months after George P. Cosmatos' gunslinging, Wyatt Earp-centric classic Tombstone hit theaters, isn't even Costner's longest sojourn into the Old West. That would be Hatfields and McCoys, the 3-part 2012 History Channel miniseries that reunited Costner with his Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and Waterworld helmsman Kevin Reynolds. In addition to being the project that finally got Reynolds out of director's jail after 2006's Tristan and Isolde, a period piece that flopped despite having Sir Ridley Scott's name prominently attached as a producer, the dramatization of the infamous Hatfield-McCoy feud also saw Costner squaring off against another actor who just looks and sounds right in a cowboy hat, the late, great Bill Paxton. Ironically, having become a Western staple, Costner himself was born in the inner city in Compton, California, as he explained to Collider while promoting Hatfields and McCoys in a 2012 interview. According to the Oscar winner, you can draw a straight line between his own personal love of the genre and his experience watching Jimmy Stewart in a canoe in John Ford, Henry Hathaway, and George Marshall's sweeping 1962 Western, How the West Was Won, when he was only 7 years old. This, in turn, fed into his love of U.S. history, which is why he knew all about the bloody, vicious, years-long conflict between the Hatfields and McCoys well before signing on for Reynolds' miniseries. The actor only continued to research the events that led to William Anderson, Devil Anse Hatfield, and Randolph "Randall" McCoy, who are played by Costner and Paxton in Hatfields and McCoys, and their respective clans, going from dear friends to bitter enemies starting near the conclusion of the U.S. Civil War upon joining the show. Based on his reading, Costner attributed this more to intergenerational trauma and the incredible anger in the aftermath of the war than a grudge between the Hatfield and McCoy patriarchs. You can probably trust the man to know what he's talking about, too, given his meticulous preparation for the role. That extended to selecting the right hat for Devil Anse, a process that Costner assured Collider was a very big deal. Critics were relatively complimentary of Hatfields and McCoys, which Costner also produced, though they felt it was a bit too jaw-clenched for its own good. Willa Paskin, writing for Salon, was very much in agreement with this sentiment, writing, "It's got law and lawlessness duking it out against a backdrop of grime, guts, and gravelly voices, but this is all served up humorlessly and laden with self-seriousness." Be that as it may, viewers turned out in huge numbers to see Costner and Paxton kick dirt in each other's face, with the miniseries premiere becoming the most watched non-sports telecast in ad-backed cable history at the time and handily setting a record for the History Channel. Before the sprawling landscapes and intricate dramas of Yellowstone captured audiences, Kevin Costner had already left an indelible mark on the Western genre with a lesser-known but equally compelling series, Hatfields and McCoys. This History Channel miniseries, which aired in 2012, starred Kevin Costner alongside Bill Paxton, and delved into the infamous feud between two of America's most notorious families. Costner's involvement in Hatfields and McCoys felt like a natural extension of his Western roots. Known for his iconic roles in Dances with Wolves, Open Range, and Wyatt Earp, Costner had long been celebrated for bringing authenticity and depth to the genre. Partnering with Bill Paxton, another versatile actor with a rich history of portraying complex characters, Hatfields and McCoys became a vivid exploration of loyalty, vengeance, and the brutal consequences of family discord. Set in the rugged Appalachian Mountains during the post-Civil War era, Hatfields and McCoys chronicles the blood feud between two clans, the Hatfields of West Virginia, led by Devil Anse Hatfield, played by Costner, and the McCoys of Kentucky, headed by Randall McCoy, portrayed by Paxton. What began as a petty dispute over a stolen pig escalated into a series of violent confrontations that spanned decades, leaving a trail of destruction and loss. Costner's portrayal of Devil Anse Hatfield was a masterclass in restrained intensity. Anse, a former Confederate soldier turned patriarch, is depicted as a man torn between his desire for peace and his obligation to defend his family's honor. Costner's nuanced performance brought out the character's internal conflicts, showcasing a man who, despite his rugged exterior, yearned for a life unburdened by violence. His measured demeanor stood in stark contrast to the fiery and devout Randall McCoy, played with fervent passion by Paxton. Paxton's Randall McCoy was a character consumed by righteous indignation and an unyielding sense of justice. A Union veteran, Randall's life is shaped by his religious convictions and his deep-seated resentment toward the Hatfields. Paxton imbued Randall with a sense of tragic inevitability, portraying a man whose unwavering principles often led him down a path of self-destruction. The dynamic between Costner and Paxton, two actors at the top of their craft, was electrifying as their characters' shared history and clashing ideologies drove the narrative forward. The miniserie's cinematography and production design transported viewers to the harsh realities of 19th-century Appalachia. The rugged landscapes, complete with dense forests and muddy trails, served as a haunting backdrop to the unfolding drama. The authenticity extended to the costumes and props, which faithfully recreated the period's aesthetics and added depth to the storytelling. But Hatfields and McCoys wasn't just a tale of two families locked in a cycle of violence. It was also a meditation on the larger societal forces that shaped their conflict. Themes of post-war trauma, the erosion of traditional values, and the impact of industrialization loomed large, giving the story a timeless resonance. The series also explored how generational hatred can perpetuate cycles of violence, with the younger members of both families often caught in the crossfire of decisions made by their elders. One of the most poignant aspects of the series was its depiction of familial bonds and the ways they were tested by the feud. For Anse and Randall, the conflict wasn't just about land or livestock. It was about their identities and the legacies they hoped to leave behind. Their respective families, each bound by loyalty and love, became both their greatest strengths and their greatest vulnerabilities. The personal toll of the feud was heartbreakingly evident in scenes of loss and mourning, where the cost of their pride and stubbornness became painfully clear. Costner and Paxton's chemistry was matched by a stellar supporting cast, including Tom Berenger, who won an Emmy for his role as Jim Vance, Anse Hatfield's volatile uncle. The performances across the board elevated the material, turning what could have been a straightforward historical drama into a deeply affecting exploration of human nature. The critical and commercial success of Hatfields and McCoys was a testament to its quality. The miniseries earned a staggering 16 Emmy nominations, winning 5, including Outstanding Lead Actor for Costner. It also set records for the History Channel, drawing millions of viewers and proving that the Western genre still had a powerful grip on the American imagination.